Okay, so this is going to be a question and answers. For the record, it is a one-on-one or small group class with Buku, with George and Saucy, and a couple others that are coming in later. Okay, so this class is going to be a very small one. It's going to be something that is going to be very, very focused on your guys' needs and what you guys need to address. So, do you guys have any questions that you guys want to answer? That's essentially what this time is for.
If possible, can we take a look at GU really quick on the daily time frame, please?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So looking at it with that inefficiency candle that shot up there. Now this bearish candle that's just starting. Um, can we expect it to go ahead and fill that?
Not in my opinion. In my opinion,
Because
no, because well, for one, we're probably gonna have, so this inefficiency originated here. Most likely, it was gonna be a return to origin. This breaker was respected, and it came back down. One second. So what we can most probably expect. I can hear myself on your side, bro. Um, Hello.
yeah, I'm here with you.
Okay. So what ends up happening is this just filled an inefficiency. So according to structure, this really isn't completely inefficient. Structure most probably bounced off of it. So in my personal opinion, what we can end up seeing happening here is we could possibly see GU go higher, fill in possibly this gap, and then come back down and fill it. I wouldn't really focus too much unless it's previous structure. Um, and I would focus on local structure in this case. So I would focus on the 2 hour, the 1 hour, and see what's up here. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely makes a lot of
Mm,
sense.
Could you see it
Yeah,
dropping down to that breaker?
yeah,
Uh,
that's what I was
where?
thinking.
Oh,
Right
I don't
there
know,
to the
I
right.
don't know
This?
specifically what. Yeah, 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 that area.
Yeah, very possibly. It would depend what it's gonna do tonight.
Sure.
So tonight, I don't really like this structure that we got here. I really don't like it. Which means I probably won't trade it, simply because it's like I really don't like I don't like the fact that it's like it's so rigid and structured upward.
Hmm.
And since I don't like that, I'm probably not gonna be on it. Like I'm not gonna trade to you for the next week until it corrects itself.
So you just get out of. You just don't trade certain things if you don't
I
like it.
like if I don't see like what of interest do you see here?
Nothing really except that like gap right there, but you don't know when it's gonna go down. If for anything, it could keep going up if it wants to.
Exactly. So for me, I wouldn't really even trade you. There's not a good setup here.
Yeah.
Because this move right here could be seen as manipulation, correct? Manipulation of price, only
Yeah.
to then turn around and just start shooting back up again.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
take a look at
retail,
this. What was given to us right here? A lot of liquidity. So obviously, what's going to happen afterward?
yeah,
Price is more than likely going to come back down and collapse on that position, right?
yeah, correct.
So in my personal information, I'd say, well, until price actually corrects itself, I'm going to be patient on it, and I'm not going to touch it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You guys get why
Yes,
I do that, and like why I'm not touching
Yeah.
price right now.
Hmm. For sure.
Is
yeah,
there really a reason for me to?
No.
No. So really, I wouldn't need to take this trade unless I really was feeling desperate.
Bro, you have
yeah.
like so many other pairs too.
Yeah, you have other pairs, so it's like, why would I?
Yeah.
No need for me to. So unless you guys are very, very certain of a trade, I wouldn't take it. My personal opinion.
Is there a reason why GU shot up? Well, all the GBP shot up so much last night.
Um,
News, right?
there was a piece of structure that shot it up, I believe.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
mean, it came back. It
he's
came back down to weekly open. So power
yeah.
of three midweek reversal.
Mm, gotcha. Yeah, because it's crazy, man. I mean, I was in the trade and I woke up this morning seeing GU clearing 250 pips. I was like, wow, I've never experienced that overnight. 250 pips.
Yeah,
That's
two hundred and
usually
fifty
like
pips is a
about
lot.
3 days.
Yeah, two hundred
I'll
and
see.
fifty pips is a lot of pips, bro.
Yeah, so
And
for it
the
to,
thing is that, and especially on GBP, it moves like that a lot.
hmm
So don't be too surprised by that. It
surprised.
definitely does happen.
Yeah,
Definitely does happen.
crazy just to see that it happened overnight. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, it definitely happens overnight. Just be careful with it. When it comes to that too,
Hmm.
um, when it comes to structure here, I'm pretty sure there's something on higher time frames that made it bounce off of it. There was a weekly open. Anyway, in this case, you probably should have been out of your cells right here as soon as it tapped equal low, and you probably should have been in buys from here, hedging it. So my position, I wouldn't have caught that. Not like I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have caught that. For me, there wasn't enough reason to get in.
You mean the recent spike, right?
Yeah, the recent spike, there would be
Well,
no reason for me to get in.
well,
So
the only reason that I would have went long yesterday is because I saw some news that was coming up during that time, like around it said 2 a.m. for the GBP, and it was
uh-huh.
very bullish for it, but it doesn't really open till 3. So once 3 hit, bro, it just took off. And I was talking to Gary about it, or like Garrison,
Hmm.
and I was texting him the whole night, or like about it earlier in the day. I told him that Euro was gonna drop and GBP was gonna go up, and that's exactly what happened. I just didn't have I
Well,
just didn't
what made you think that?
because I based it off of what you said on one of your boot camps. You said you use your GBP as your like your DXY for those.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So if euro goes down, or like if say euro GBP goes up, I assume that euro is gonna go up and GBP goes down because it's like the
Yep.
DXY used it. So that's what I did, and then I basically used the news to basically tell me where it was gonna go. So I was basically thinking euro GBP shorts. I had like a whole setup and everything. Like I just didn't take it, and it was pinpoint accurate, and then dropped completely. Like euro GBP, I didn't take it though for some reason. I just I'm still new to this, so I didn't really have the confidence, which you can do in paper trading, but I just didn't have the confidence to take it in FTMO for it yet.
Hmm.
And the GPPs all went up, and then I was talking to Gary about it today. I was like, well, shit, bro. Like, I could have fucking completed the challenge by today.
So what like so let me ask you this. So what would have been your confirmation for that? Like in this case, it like say you would have paper traded it,
hmm
what would have been like enough confirmation for you to say, "Hey, I'm getting into this trade."
Well, if on GBPs, I didn't really see too much except GPP CHF because there was a setup that I had for like 2 weeks now that I had ready. Like I like probably like the first week that I joined, I set it up, and then it was that one day where I said I was spazzing. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It was that exact day that I marked it up, and that was my point of interest. I just didn't. I think it was gonna. It was the same thing that Gary had, the 8 pips, the 8 pip thing that he missed it or whatever. I had this. It just didn't reach my point of interest, and ended up shooting up. That one I could have suspected going up because it was around my area, and plus there was like an efficiency in that area, so it stopped around there. And the Euro GBP, there was a nice like breaker that was in that area where it was stopping and wasn't going past, so I could have took a saw on that one. I didn't really see anything else on the other ones except maybe GBP CAD, but I wasn't really looking at them because I wasn't too sure what the US dollar was gonna do. So I was staying out of GBP USD and GBP JPY. Like yesterday when you said that the liquidity was getting taken out from the top side, I wasn't too sure like if it was gonna drop because the USD was gonna get weaker. So I just didn't want to touch those. But I was looking more toward GBP CHF and CAD for those.
So a lot of times GBP CHF is also a very, very good indicator of where a lot of GBPs will go, and it's also a lot easier. It has a lot more setups. So for GBP CHF, a lot of people would have incorrectly guessed this as distribution. Why do you guys think a lot of people would have incorrectly guessed this as distribution?
Because it looks like choppy or like consolidation, so they automatically assume it is.
So they see accumulation. So sorry, they see um, consolidation with a bit of a curve, right?
Mm.
What do they
Yeah.
not consider?
The up thrust or like a UTAD or something like that. Or you meant accumulation or distribution?
They see this as distribution, right? Because they think like, oh,
Oh,
it's curved
yeah,
downward, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
But what do
making
they
lower
not
highs.
consider? They don't
Yeah,
consider the liquidity that's up here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Since they don't consider that liquidity, what do we as professional traders predict? Or what do we see?
A bunch of liquidity in that
We
area.
see that liquidity, and since we see that liquidity, well, we're good to go, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're good to go. However, however, not only do we see that, we also say, hey, we're not going to be looking at this as distribution, so what are we going to do? We're going to look at local structure, correct?
Hmm.
Correct.
So what's the local structure here?
That
Uh,
those 2 points
the
right
We
there.
bottom.
have those
Yeah.
positions there.
Mm,
This
And
was GBPCHF.
it never broke that low too. That's why I took it. Because I said, look, it never made a lower low. It never
Uh-huh.
went
Yeah,
below
it never
structure.
made a lower low. Yeah, that's also a good example why. For me, it would have been this entry right down here. It would have been a positional trade there.
Yeah.
You could have also aimed a little bit lower for that,
yeah, that's where I was aiming, a little bit lower, and that's exactly where it didn't hit, but it's chill.
but it still would have reached somewhere near that position, correct?
Yeah, it did near it, yeah.
Which would have been what? Very, very,
Equal.
very easy for you to have taken that trade because you had enough confirmation, correct?
Yeah.
Mm,
So now let's say we take CAD. Now CAD had a lot more perfect of a setup.
Hmm.
Look
yeah.
at this.
Most definitely. Yeah. That's
This was a
clean.
perfect setup, right?
Hmm.
And usually when one GBP goes up,
All of them
unless
do.
there's a type of of SMT divergence, what are you going to expect?
Everything else to correlate with it.
Everything else to correlate, especially if
If the dollar goes down, if the
not
dollar
not
goes,
if the dollar goes down, especially if your GBP lines up with it, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely, because that's the inverted pair of it.
Exactly. Since it's inverted, you can use that SMT divergence easily, right? Oh, sorry, not divergence, correlation.
Correlation. Hmm.
So that's essentially how you could have caught something like this. Now, personally, I would have taken GBP CAD instead of GBP USD because it was just simply the better trade.
Better. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I thought
And
too.
since it was the better trade, I would have been like, damn, let's take that and easy peasy lemon squeezy, right?
You
We're
took
good.
this one yesterday, right?
Huh?
Did you take this one yesterday?
For GBP CAD, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, but in all honesty, I've noticed that the dollar does move as an opposite of the GBPs. Though, like when the dollar goes down, I noticed that the GBPs go up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does.
Yeah, yeah, I've always used that as a correlation.
That's exactly what it does. The
Yeah,
DXY usually a lot of the times goes inverted to GBP USD, which
yeah,
goes
Mm.
inverted to Euro USD. So a lot of
correct.
times when you see these trades on the DXY, a lot of times you can just invert it and then take it on GBP USD.
Correct. Yeah, everything against the dollar pretty much. AU, NU, all those go in
NU
opposite
and AU
direction.
will be a little bit different. It'll be a little bit different because it'll they're a little bit less. They're a little bit less correlated. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just usually it'd be GU and EU.
Yeah, gotcha.
And a lot of times, if GU makes the move, EU will
Mm-hmm.
consolidate, and if EU makes the move, GU will consolidate. In terms of Euro GBP. Does that make sense?
And yes, definitely. Even the indices as well. I noticed the indices will go up with the GBPs too.
Indices, try not to correlate them with
Mm-hmm.
try not to correlate them with other
Like,
pairs because they're very
yeah,
different. Like for example, think about it. Think about it. Like you can't just say, hey, Japan, like the Japanese currency is correlated to American stocks, right?
yeah.
It's like, you know, so
A bit of a long shot.
yeah,
I,
it's a
I
bit of a long shot.
I usually say if the dollar goes up, all the JPYs go down, and if the dollar goes up, then I say all the indices go down. Like the indices and the dollar go in opposite, and so do the JPYs. They go in opposite direction of the dollar.
Yeah, exactly. So, what just like keep that into consideration. But as I
Hmm.
said, when it comes to indices, try to analyze them differently.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So don't try to put correlation between indices. And the same goes for gold.
Hmm.
Gold just try to
Oh yeah, it has a mind of its own.
yeah, I mean analyze it concurrently. Don't analyze it
Yeah,
in terms of other people.
gotcha.
Because sorry, another people, other pairs. Because if
Other
you do
pairs.
that,
It's not gonna work, man. It's fucking gold.
Y- But all right. So here on TradingView they have the compare
yeah.
feature at the top. So I usually do a comparison between USD CAD and the XPS 500. And I mean, if you want to pull it up, you can take a look at it, and they're perfectly the opposites. Like I've even gotten entries where they would both hit quarter points at the same time. I mean, I'll just go ahead and drop a 50 cent on there just because I just know for sure what it's gonna do.
Like this.
Yeah. So whenever USD CAD is going up, the SPX is going down.
That's an
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
proposal.
You see how it looks like a sandwich almost? If you were to fold both pairs, it would make a perfect sandwich. Like
Here?
not perfect, but well, yeah. If you were to fold both of them, you know what I mean. It's not exactly precise, but it's just about. If you were to fold that top one on top of it to make a sandwich, does that make
Mm,
sense? If
okay.
you were to fold the two pairs, yeah. So that's why I say if you buy the USD CAD, you sell SPX 500.
Interesting. For me,
Hmm.
see, I'm looking at this and I don't.
No, I,
No.
I've done it so many times. I don't know. And then I use this feature here, and
I mean, do you
it
want to
kind of
share your
helps me a
screen
lot.
and show it?
Yeah, I pretty much do the same thing that you're doing right now. I just hit the compare button and just compare SPX and USD CAD,
Yeah.
and then I
Interesting.
usually that's how I usually follow SPX.
Okay. See, the thing is, right here, I don't particularly like where
Hmm.
it's at right now, simply because like just look at this. Like, you see this drop off?
Uh huh.
Nothing happened here. You could say like, yeah, it went up, but I mean, this one went up, that one went down. I mean, I see what you mean, but it doesn't match in terms of volatility, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely not because of the it being an indice. Yeah. Indices just has way too much volatility
Yeah,
behind it.
exactly.
Gotcha. But I use that a lot though. Those two pairs, I correlate them heavily, and it has always worked, man.
Yeah, no, dude, if it works for you and you can understand it, try to think of it and try to explain it to yourself in a way that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense, and that way you can explain it to somebody else. So say one day you're teaching your own team of students. You can show them things that I can't because you've been staring at your own chart and you've been saying, "Oh, I get what I look at, but maybe, James as a mentor doesn't understand what I'm looking at," which is completely fine. Which is completely fine. But if I try to explain something that I don't understand that you just told me about, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna do a very good job of it.
gotcha.
Oh, you know what? This may be wrong. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold one momento. No, I still don't see it. Yeah, I still don't see it, bro.
No,
I still don't see it, but maybe you do. I personally don't see it. But if it works for you, bro, try to think about it in
hmm,
terms of your own thought process. So once you understand your own thought process, you can explain it to other people.
gotcha, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Inside the mind.
Yep.
So like Jay, like for example, he explains certain things in a different way, right?
Hmm.
And if he someday teaches his own group of students, or Sasi teaches his own group of students, they're gonna need to explain to their own students how they trade, like how they trade, or how they understand the market themselves. I can't explain to their students how I understand the market because I'm not the one teaching, right?
Yeah.
Correct, correct.
So you guys need to
Yeah,
learn to explain to other people how you see the market and how it has been working for you to see the market.
it's true because everybody has their own perception as to how they see it. That makes sense.
Everybody has their own perception, and since everybody has their own perception, they're going to need to explain their own perception. They're not going to need to explain my perception,
Facts. I
right?
agree.
So as a teacher, you guys will have to learn to teach yourselves and teach other people, because that's the point of this. The point of this is for you guys to get to the point where you guys can start getting paid for teaching your own classes,
Cool.
For sure.
right? Do you guys have any other questions that you guys want to go over?
Let me see. Let me see.
You're sleepy.
No, let me see. Um, who knows? All right, what do you think about EG right now? I'm thinking during London it's gonna hit a good buy.
Oh, look at that. Your GBP. Okay. Why would you say your GBP buy?
Well, look at it in my own chart because
Oh no, that price didn't really well. Yep, that price didn't really well, so there's no more inefficiency there.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
So, but I was thinking maybe you could take out that bottom side liquidity real quick, maybe, and then hit like a what's it called, a breaker on the other side to the left on the 4 hour.
this one?
Hold on, let me
Oh, I see
see.
what you mean. Yeah, this one right here,
Yeah,
right?
right there. That's exactly where I have it at.
This one
Right
or
there,
this
like a
one
little
right
box.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say we take this area into consideration as
Mhm.
our point of interest.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean it already broke up your high, but we could have targeted this inefficiency here. So
Yeah, we could have.
I would. Oh wow. Yeah, and let's compare this to GBP USD.
because I still think GBP USD has some ways to go. To be honest with you.
Funny how it respects it almost every single time. It creates a high here, creates a low there, creates a high here, creates a low there. It's like clockwork.
Let me check my
Sorry, my
GBP.
mom texted me. Okay, so for Euro GBP personally, I would wait until this bottom side liquidity gets taken out, and then from there I would look for buys. Same thing with USD CAD or USD Chef. It would
You
have
want
to
to
be
know?
USD Chef. So,
You want to know my point of interest for GBP USD?
mm,
It's literally the opposite breaker.
what opposite breaker?
On the other side, it's look at GBP USD, and it's like the exact opposite of EG.
Where?
Up, like a little bit, like it's to the left, up, like around that area,
Mm,
and it lines up perfectly with the .79 as well. If you want to fib from the top to the bottom.
that's interesting, but that's not a breaker.
Really? What the
Yeah, no,
fuck?
it's not.
Yeah, that's not a breaker.
Oh damn.
It may be a point of interest, but not a breaker. Um, so, and see, here's the thing. I would also expect price to at least retrace it down here, ish, somewhere down there, because if it just shoots up from here, that's a little bit surprising.
Yeah. Two bullish days. Hard bullish days.
Oh no, dude, you have not seen bullish days on GBP, bro. Um, hold on, let me go back to or bearish days on GBP, dude. That was awful. This thing literally wouldn't stop. This one, oh my god. This was literally like months of just bearish GBP.
Jesus. Damn, bro. That's the start of 2001.
And that was like absolutely amazing distribution right there. I found that back testing. I was like, damn, looks really
Damn.
nice.
What a time to be alive in 2000s, huh?
Yeah, bro. And the thing is, I was well, I wasn't trading at the time because I was busy being born.
Exactly.
But you know, it's still good to backtest and see what price did at that point in time. Because still, you could have if you say this happens in the future, well, tough, you just caught it again, right?
hmm
And since you just caught it again, well, perfect. You know exactly what you're looking for, and you know exactly how you should play it because you've seen it play out in the past, so you have a certain idea of what to do in the future.
Wouldn't EG have like a perfect accumulation then? Since you said it's the
Yeah,
complete opposite. Yeah. So that
yeah,
would.
very, very likely. EG will have a perfect accumulation.
So would you say that in that gap? You know how it had a hard push down, and then that little period of consolidation. Would you think that's redistribution in the lower or no?
Where at below?
No, no, no. Like in the right, like you know how it starts to shoot down out of nowhere, and then it has a period of consolidation, and then it
Right
starts
here?
going all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's redistribution.
Mm,
Definitely redistribution. So definitely pay attention to that because the price cycle works something like this, right? So it'll essentially go accumulation, right? Reaccumulation, reaccumulation, distribution, redistribution, redistribution, accumulation. Cycle starts again.
uh,
Y'all sound sleepy.
bro, it's like 12 a.m. over here. I gotta stay up till 4 a.m. today.
Why?
Bro, that London, bro. I gotta take
London.
a London. London session doesn't open up over here till like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast too.
What do you sleep till like? Because you be up until like 4:50 or some
I
shit
wake
like that.
up. The thing is this. Tomorrow I have a test, so right now I'm doing this class, so that I can study after, and I probably will pull an all nighter after this. So
Damn,
yeah,
couldn't
because
do
I
that.
have I have a test tomorrow. So, but the thing is also I don't trade London.
Yeah, you trade New York, so
I
that's
trade New
completely.
York session. So
Yeah. Hmm. But you be up at like 4:50 sometimes, bro.
yeah,
Like
because
out
I
of
wake
nowhere.
up. Sometimes I wake up, but
Mm. Were you stationed at like New York or something?
no, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Buku, you're in West Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm over in Cali.
Yeah, so you're in Cali, so you literally have London at like prime hour.
Literally.
You have London at what, 12 p.m.?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
my only
midnight.
issue is just cause like I be trying to go to sleep early.
Okay.
Cause I gotta I be getting up for work at like 5:45, 5:30.
Oh,
That's why I'm
damn.
trying to stay up too early.
What
Or
time
I'm
do
even
you leave?
late. I leave my house trying to leave my house around like 6:45, 6:50. I got like a 30-minute commute and I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to like get to work early so I can actually like get out earlier, get to the gym earlier, get back home so I can try like getting more into all this shit.
Okay. Have you thought about trading New York in the mornings? Because I know New York starts like almost as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do right now. So like honestly, it's like I literally fucking my alarm goes off, I'll check some shit, and then I've been looking a lot at some indices and gold because I've been noticing like they'll be moving a lot during those times, or sometimes a little bit like I'll notice a little bit of movement starting like before I go to sleep. So that's what I've been doing, but like the rest of like some other pairs, I haven't really been able to get like a good look at.
hmm So you've been trading mostly indices, you've been trading mostly gold, stuff like that. So what have you noticed about them?
Um, Let me think. I've been noticing, like I said, like a lot of movement, usually around like I feel like it's like right at that 6 a.m. my time mark. That's when it really starts moving.
hmm
Um, Other than that, I've just been trying to pay a lot of attention to like some structures, but
Okay, structure. What kind of structure?
I've been trying to look for some, or at least trying to pay more attention to, or I think I've caught some good accumulation and distribution.
Lower time frames, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm still a little iffy on some of them. So it's like I haven't been able to like really like pull the trigger like I want to.
hmm Do you have any examples?
Um, I'm trying to, cause I do a lot of it on my phone. So like I'm on my phone right now trying to look and see if I had any. Um, Shit.
Well, okay. What are you concerned about during those times? Like what concerns you about the trade enough that you won't pull the trigger?
I don't know. I feel like part of it, it was kind of like what I DM'd you about before. Is like sometimes it was just like the confidence in it.
hmm
Like there was a couple times, like I think it was last week when I was DMing you with the Nas 100. It was like I had it laid out perfectly. It could explain everything I was going through, and it did exactly what I was saying.
Oh yeah. I
It's,
remember that. I remember that.
yeah, I was just like, I don't know. Like I ain't trying to do this shit, get it wrong again, and then it's like to kind of like lose confidence because you kind of took a couple L's in a row. So
So you aren't confident about it because you took a couple L's in a row. And let's say you wouldn't have taken those L's, would you have been a lot more confident about your trade, or would you have still stuttered? Because there's still a fundamental reason why you stuttered.
confident partly like, oh, if I don't feel like I have as much knowledge as I should, let me hold off for a little bit longer.
Okay,
And
so
then when I feel like I gained enough knowledge, then I'll like jump in or feel more ready to jump in.
you're a little bit concerned about your own knowledge. So let's see. What do you like, Nasdaq 100?
I've been looking mainly a lot at SPX. But I mean, I've
SPX.
noticed that they kind of, at least they seem to me like they move really similarly.
So for me, I caught this because of the accumulation schematic. You see that?
Yeah.
I caught this a while back. And I actually showed it up as an example. Why do you think I caught this? That's very, very simply just an accumulation schematic. Um,
Yeah.
Now, let's say in the future, right now, what time frame do you be looking at?
Like when I'm gonna try to get into a trade, or just when
Yeah,
I'm looking in general.
yeah. Like when you're looking to get into a trade into Nasdaq. So like, run me through a trade right now.
All right. So for what I'll usually start with is I'll start at like the 4 hour, try to get a feel for like how everything's moving, and then from there just zoom in from 4 to 1, then to 30, then to 15. And then 15 is usually where I'll try like trying to see if I can get a trade out of somewhere from there.
Okay, so you usually try to look for 15-minute type stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing. Do you look for anything below or just try to stay there?
I've only gone below a couple times, but mainly it's just like at the 15.
Okay, so at the 15, um, only below a couple times. So I'm writing some of this stuff down just as your trader profile. Let's say you as an indice trader, what do you look for in structure for it to actually count as an entry? Because you have to keep your stop losses small, especially with indices if you don't have a
Yeah.
large account. So what do you do to manage your risk?
For that, I feel like truthfully it's just taking some less trades
Less
just to
trades,
help
okay.
manage with that. And then one thing, I don't know if I'm fully on the right track with some stuff, but it's like I'll look for points where I'm noticing like prices making like large reversals and things like that, and I'll just keep notes of that point and see how it's going to react if it gets around that point again, and then try to keep like some mental notes of that.
So wouldn't that just be support and resistance?
Yeah, it is, but then I know like you always say like get away from that and those types of things. So it's like it's still like in my head and I'll like draw it out, but I'm not trying to focus overly too much just from your advice of all of it.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is because there are points in the market where the market will come back and it will make a reversal off of those points. Support and resistance is not a lie in itself, it's faulty in its practice. So if you think about it, a lot of things that come in with smart money, um, a lot of how retail does it, it's a lot of liquidity, right? But at the same time, isn't it also a lot of looking at the same points over and over again, like looking at where history has made points turn?
Yeah,
It's a lot of that, right? And because it's a lot of that, like support and resistance in and of itself is a thing, but that's why quarter points work, right? But the thing is, you should also be analyzing why it works and what is the reason behind the market turning. Because if you just say, oh, the market made a low here, that's why it's turning, that's not a good enough explanation.
yeah,
Okay. So think about it. Look back at those areas that you say, oh, okay, so price made a reaction here, it made a reaction here, it reacted here, here, and here because of this, this, and this. Don't just say this is a line where market has moved multiple times. Say, hey, the market has turned here because of X, Y, and Z reason. We see price moving here, here, and here because of this, this, and this. Blah 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 blah. Right? And when you say that type of thing, you immediately understand. Hey, I get why the market's moving here. So I'm not going to fight it, and I'm going to say, okay, the market is moving. It moved in this position here. Um, I'm going to take this trade off of it because there's liquidity there. If there's liquidity there, perfect. If not, then why would you take it?
yeah,
So that's my advice to you as a learning trader. Whenever I was learning, my mentor would always tell me, okay, there's going to be a reason why, so tell me the reason why. And if you can't tell me a reason why, you shouldn't be in the trade. So
That makes sense.
If you can't tell me, you know, like, oh, hey, on the 1 hour I saw this, or on the 2 hour I saw that, or this, then I can't believe you, right? And I can't be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So right
Yeah.
here, what do we see on Nasdaq? What do we see?
That like long wick, so I'm guessing that's gonna need to be filled.
Yeah, perfect, right? Boom. Well, what wick?
The a little bit more to the right.
That?
Oh no, I was talking about like the wick from like where you drew the line.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, not really.
No. Oh, okay.
Okay, so like, what do we have above and below?
Liquidity.
Liquidity, right? And if we
Yeah.
have that liquidity there, what can we most likely expect price to do?
Go grab it.
To
Most
fill it.
probably it's going to dip into the liquidity pool. So what are you going to react off of? You can most likely react off of the actual liquidity pool touching, right? If it touches your liquidity pool, you can say, okay, perfect. Now that we have the liquidity pool that's being touched, we can finally react off of it. So we know that indices and interbank price delivery algorithm, or what we teach, is applicable in all markets. So we know that indices are no exception. So what does that tell us as traders? Well, we need to be looking for liquidity, possibly looking for an Asia range, or a range in it of itself. It doesn't have to be an Asia range. It can just be a range in it of itself. And if it's a range in it of itself, what can we expect? The price is most likely going to grab one liquidity pool, grab the other, and then it's going to go in the direction that it originally wanted to, right?
Yeah.
So what should we be expecting right now? A liquidity grab, right? And if we're expecting a liquidity grab, what's stopping us from actually playing the liquidity grab and observing it right now? So right now, nothing is really happening. So what should we wait for if this is, if this is a trade that we're wanting to take? We're wanting to take a move on Nasdaq. We have to wait for the liquidity pool to actually touch, right? Now, let's say we go back on the hour and we see, hey, is there anything here? Is there any position here that we can play off of? We had a large move here. We had a large move here. We could possibly react off of this block right here, previous consolidation. It could be this right here as well, right? So we go on the 2 hour and let's see what's up. On the 2 hour, what was that? It was this right here that broke the low. So we may be taking this into consideration. Seems ideal, right? Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. That could be a possible move. We could have another breaker up here. So those could be your both of your POIs, and you can whichever side it breaks off of and reacts off of. Again, we could probably take the buy or the sell off of it, depending on what the actual move, what price actually reveals its card to be.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be trying to predict price all the time. You should mostly be making noteworthy notes of where liquidity is and saying, hey, if price reacts off of this, I'll play this. If price reacts off of that, I'll play that. Because there's only two options in the market, right? It's either going to buy or it's going to sell. But at the same time, the market can make multiple moves before actually making the actual move that it wants to make, which is the important part. And that's why we actually solidify our stances on identifying liquidity, or else I wouldn't have had like 2-3 hour long sessions about how to spot liquidity. Because if we didn't need to, then what would be the point? But now do you understand why spotting liquidity is so important? Because without spotting liquidity, how would I have known where to actually target or what my areas of interest would have been? Would I have known? Most
Nah.
likely not, right? Most likely not. And since I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
taken the trade. And there goes another opportunity. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, no. That made a lot of sense.
So just to clarify, what you're saying here is that you would basically wait on the move to see if it's a manipulative move, and then wait for the actual move that it wants to make in the direction that it intended.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I would wait for the breakout, right?
Uh-huh.
Boom. But we're not breakout traders, right? So we take
Correct.
this move, we can say boom, okay, we can possibly take a scalp buy, boom, boom, right? And if it
Hmm.
breaks below first, usually it'll come up, take sell, take buy set liquidity, and then keep dropping. However, I highly suggest you to be careful with indices. As what are we close to? What did I say this morning? Who has been doing their homework?
Yeah, I seen that. I took that into consideration. Yeah, the whole election and everything going on.
The election, what can it can affect our trading a lot.
Yeah,
Since it can affect our
based on the
trading a lot, well,
volatility in a good way and a bad way.
exactly. Since since we're saying okay, well, this liquidity we're gonna have to take this into consideration. Well, what else should we be doing? We should be applying that very very liberally into our trading, which means what? Which means us as traders should be saying, okay, maybe don't trade Nasdaq. Maybe go to currencies. Maybe go to foreign currencies. In terms of, hey, I'm trading this, and this. Like these are the pairs that I'm only looking at. Because at the end of the day, let's say you don't trade indices and indices violently drop because of the election. You just
Hmm.
saved yourself a lot of money because you didn't take that trade, right?
Right.
So, in my personal opinion, I would have said, "Hey, I don't want to trade indices. Right now, I'm not trading indices. Why? Because of the election. I don't want to
Hmm.
touch them at all. Like I don't at all want to do them. Simply because it's
And
not what I want to do. So,
I find that Nasdaq moves very closely with NU for some reason. The NZDs,
hmm
especially in NU,
okay.
NZD
Well, I
USD.
mean, keep looking for those. Like keep looking for those. Keep looking for those correlations. And if you look for those correlations, you'll be good to go because you'll be able to understand. But don't only correlate them and watch them correlate. Understand why you're correlating them.
Gotcha.
Understand why they actually correlate. And that's something that I stress a lot to my students is why do you think I stress this?
So we can teach them.
Not only so you can teach, but so you can also understand, like if you understand why an engine needs gas to create combustion, are you going to be more likely to be able to fix that engine?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you understand why its systems
Why?
work and how
Yeah.
its systems work. When you understand why, you also understand how. So keep an eye on Nasdaq tonight. Let's see how it plays out, and let's see what we could have done. Okay. Hello.
Well,
Does that make sense to you guys?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that made sense.
So let's keep an eye. Let's keep an eye on let's keep an eye on Nasdaq, and then let's see what actually happens. If we see that we like it and we like the setup, let's take it. Right? Let's take this as a group. And if not, then we don't take it because there's nothing there that we saw that we actually liked. Right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
good with that.
Do we all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I need to go
Yes,
to
sir.
sleep, but I hope this helped you guys. Did this help you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was really
definitely
helpful.
did. Definitely.
George, did this help you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Definitely. Thank you.
I'm
I
glad, bro.
appreciate that, man.
No problem. We're gonna talk to Carlos later, because I don't think he made it today. Ow, Jesus, my arm. But yeah, I'll definitely hit you guys back up. So I hope you guys have a good night and you guys take care.
All right, bro. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right,
Too,
same to
man.
you.
Have a good one.
Thank you, man. You